On the Chaos side, for the HQ choices, we have one Lord and one Sorcerer, and the Sorcerer is a level 2. For a heavy support choice, we have a Land Raider and a Defiler, and the Defiler has the Battle Cannon, the Reaper Autocannons, and some Twin Link Flamers. An elite choice, we have a group of 4 Terminators from the Vengeance set, so what you see is what you... For the second elite choice, we have a group of Chosen, and they also is what you see is what you get. Dedicated transport for the Chosen is a Rhino. For troop choice, we have one big blob of Chaos Space Marines. The 2 guys with Meltas have their special weapons. The rest of the special weapons aren't actually there. On the Orc side, for the HQ choices, we have 3 HQs. One War Boss with Power Claw, Boss Pole, Twin Link Shooter, Big Mech with a Custom Force Field, and a Weird Boy. First troop choice, we have a group of boys. There are 18 boys, 1 Knob. The Knob has Power Claw and Boss Pole, and they've all been upgraded with heavy armor. The second troop choice, we have a group of 12 boys, with one of them being the Knob with the Power Claw and Boss Pole and a Big Shooter. And then there'll be another group of boys just like them, except for the Knob has the Big Choppa instead of the Power Claw. 2 of the boy squads has a truck each for a dedicated transport. Both have just one Big Shooter. For a fast attack, we have a group of 5 Def-Copters, all with twin-linked rockets. Another fast attack, we have a Dakajet with the extra Super Shooter and the upgrade to the Fly Boss. Choice, we have a Knob squad, just 3 Knobs with Big Choppas and Twin Shooters, and they took a Battle Wagon as dedicated transport, and the Battle Wagon has a Kill Cannon. For a heavy support choice, we have a group of 5 Ludas. Finally, for the last heavy support choices, we have 2 looted wagons, which are going to be proxied by these 2 Imperial Guard tanks today. And they both have kill cannons and reinforced rams. Guys, here we are after deployment. We did the Maelstrom of War random mission, and we got the Deadlock. So we're going to draw a whole bunch of objectives. We probably will just give you running a total of objectives, and that's going to be about it. We just used the book's Vanguard Strike since it had the mission, and the Chaos player rolled high, deployed first. And then the Orc, we put ourselves over there in that corner. And then our objectives are here. One there. One there. There is, if I get around the side of the table, one in this pond over here with the Orcs. And another one there, and another one there. So, we will, and we're, Orc player already tried to steal, and I did not. So we'll be back after the Chaos's turn 1. After Chaos turn 1, Land Raider stayed put, fired at, killed a truck. That big mean Land Raider killing a truck. The explosion took out 3 boys, and then they did fail their fleeing test, so Mob Rule killed off another boy. This blob moved forward to try to get that objective, and they took a couple of pot shots at those Def-Copters and didn't really do anything. The Chosen moved forward and fired at the Def-Copters, and they did strip off 1 wound, so not too bad though, really. Defy over here fired his Ordnance Blast all the way over here at the back of the Battle Wagon and did kill off a few of those Ard boys that are there, but did not manage to do anything to the Battle Wagon. So we will be back after Orcs. Okay, so after the Orcs turn 1, the Blob just moved forward. The Psychic Power, he just kind of did force to make, since he has to. These guys moved forward and shot at the Rhino, and did try to charge him, but they didn't quite make it. He fired his kill cannon. He fired his kill cannon into that Blob and wiped off a pretty good chunk off the front of them. They went ahead and flattened it out so they can get into better assault range next turn. He pushed that dang button he's not supposed to push. These guys, they fired at that big blob and did manage to kill one. The Def-Copters kind of zoomed forward and shot at those and killed a whole bunch of them. And then for some reason, thought that they could win that assault, so I assaulted and they got wiped out. So that was a big tactical error on the Orcs' part. We'll see how that translates in the rest of the game. On after turn 2. Alright, after the Chaos Turn 1, these guys moved forward to get into range of that objective so they could score a point. The Defiler just kind of scooched over, fired his battle cannon over there, and they made all their invuln saves, so they're like awesome sauce. Land Raider, he tried to shoot over there, but he had to snap fire, and so he didn't do very much, but he moved over there to get an objective, so either way he scored an objective. Sorcerer and what's left of the Chosen hopped in that Rhino and then popped up over the hill. So that's pretty much it. We'll be back after Orks. Alright, after the Orks Turn 2, the big formation moved forward. Nobody pushed any wrong buttons or anything like that. The Dakajet, unfortunately, is still flying around. He got lost, I think. So let's see what happened. Let's see, 3 kill cannons fired at this blob, and you could just see what they did. You know, a couple of twin-link shooters fired at there, did pretty good number. These guys also fired. We thought about charging, but the distance was just, it was 10 inches. That's difficult to try to charge that, so we just decided not to. The Def Guns over there fired at that Rhino and didn't manage to do anything substantial. Nobody fired at you. Let's see, these 3 guys who were left from when that truck exploded ran through the woods, and they tried to, we called it a wall, so they tried to run, and they only ran 1 inch, which left this distance too much to get to the Land Raider, so they didn't quite make it. So, there we go. I guess we'll be back after turn 3. Right, after Chaos Turn 3, right? Turn 3? Yeah. Okay, so Defi moved forward a little bit more, and he fired at the battle wagon, scattered off, and actually hit the looted wagon, and stripped a whole point and shook him, or stunned him, whichever it was, so he can't shoot next turn. Land Raider whiffed when he fired at that battle wagon, unfortunately. These guys just kind of bounced forward and shot at and then tried to assault those boys, but we managed to make all of our saves, so we're good to go over here. Terminators finally came in from reserves from failing a couple times, and so the Sorcerer and some Psychic powers and shooting and all this stuff focused on those Ludas and wiped them out. So, but unfortunately they're not yet close enough to get that objective. He'll get 2 more points once he gets that objective. So there we are. We'll be back. If it focuses again, back after Orks 3. Okay, after the Orks Turn, the Dakajet came in, finished off that Rhino. Ludowagon finished off the guys inside the Rhino. The Psyker tried to drop his special powers on them, and they denied it, so nothing happened there. The few guys that were in their range shot at him and didn't do anything. We did have that Ork group over here who shot at it and then tried to assault, but they also died in the assault. So far, Orks have failed in the assault this turn. Chaos out, assault, and Ork. This blob moves over into this Land Raider, but did not manage to wound anything. We're going to flat out that guy. We forgot to do it, but we'll do it real quick. The battle wagon fired to the Defi, and he scattered off. So we'll be back after Chaos Turn 4. Alright, here we are at the end of Chaos's Turn 4. The Defiler moved up and actually targeted those group of boys with his battle cannon, his Reaper cannon, pretty much everything he could throw at it. We made every single one of our invuln saves. We're good there. These 2 last cannons fired at the battle wagon, and he made his invuln saves. Since he decided to move forward so that they wouldn't get free attacks, they failed their leadership test on that tank shock, so they're actually running off the table. We'll see if they come back, if they're going to be toast or not, which is awesome. These group of guys ran forward and assaulted that looted wagon and shook him so he can't fire this turn, and, you know, he's down to 1 whole point. So we'll see what happens there, so we'll be back after Orks Turn 4. At the end of Orks 4, this looted, since he couldn't do it anyway, he just moved over here a little bit closer to kind of eyeball them, so they're kind of watching each other. The Psyker fired his, one of his Psychic powers at Strength 10 AP2, but he made his invuln saves. I guess we got invuln saves coming out of invuln saves. Both the looted and the battle wagon fired their kill cannons at Defi, and each of them stripped off a whole point and then shook him, and then he ignored the shooking. This little guy, we forgot that he has the mob rule. We forgot that when they were fleeing last time, so we did it this time, and he came back. He killed all of his friends, came back and assaulted the Land Raider, took off a whole point, and took that objective. He's the man. Over here, of course, what we finally happened is groups of orcs killed something in the assault. We slayed the warlord and wiped out the group of Chaos Space Marines. So what we have left on the table going into 5, a Defiler, a Land Raider, and a Terminator against a Looted Wagon, Battle Wagon, Looted Wagon, one big blob of Orc Art Boys with the Big Mech and the Weird Boy, and then a group of knobs with the boss in there, and the Dakajet. We'll see what happens. After the Chaos Turn 5, he moved the Defiler up and moved the Land Raider so that we wouldn't get any free attacks, and then tried to blow up the Looted Wagon with the Land Raider, but didn't quite manage to do it, so Defi had to come in and finish the job in close combat, which of course he does quite handedly. The Terminators over here fired at the back of the Battle Wagon and stripped off a couple of hull points, so he scored an objective and scored his other objective for killing a unit. So we're not even looking at the points this time, we're just going to surprise ourselves at the end of the game, so we'll see what happens after the Orc Turn 5. Okay, at the end of turn 5, the Orcs just kind of moved over, if you can kind of see them over there, and shot at the Terminators, didn't do a whole lot. I had to get that objective, and I had to get next to the table edge, so I had to do it. So he didn't get a shoot, he just kind of went over there and didn't get stuck. We did strip off a hull point off Defi, so he's down to 1 hull point. He tried to strip another hull point from Land Raider and did not make it. So this is it. We're going to see if the game ends. Go ahead. 6! The game continues to turn 6. We'll be back after Chaos 6. After Chaos turn 6, the Defiler moved forward. Land Raider, Defiler, Chaos, fired the Battle Wagon and killed it. It blew up. It wiped out a couple, or like one boy, and did a wound on the boss. So that is where we're sitting. We'll be back after the Orcs. Okay, here we are after the Orcs. It was a really challenging deciding what to do. So we ended up breaking the war boss off to attach the big squad, and they were debating on attacking the Defiler and decided against it, because I just, for some reason, I just see myself as getting wiped out by that. But I guess maybe I should have, because I got boss pulls anyway. Oh well, we'll see. The knobs tried to run up here to get the objective for a point, and they failed. They went up the hill with 2 inches and ran to 1. We did kill off a few of the Terminators, though, so we'll see if the game ends. Yeah, the last little knob ran off the board, so that's all we have left is what's right here in this pile, so we'll see if the game ends. The game does end, so we'll be back after we tally some points. Okay, after tallying the victory points, the Orcs scored 12 victory points, and the Chaos scored 10. So it is an Orc victory, 12 to 10. Thanks for watching. Game on.
Good game.